Part 2. Azure Moon. Verdant Rain Moon.
I imagine
Our chosen paths.
that refers to the different paths chosen by Edelgard and Dimitri.
The Kingdom Army has captured Fort Mercius,
Oh.
managing troops from the now stable Western
I know it's
Kingdom
foolish,
and
but
former Alliance territory.
part of me really does
Kingdom
hope for
Army
a
returns to Garreg to regroup and reorganize its forces.
to not give a killing blow to Edelgard.
With sufficient might to challenge the Empire, the Kingdom Army finalizes their plans to march on Enbar, the Imperial capital.
If only it could be.
Ah, there you are.
Hello,
His Highness
Gilbert.
was looking for you.
Alright. Where is he?
He's gone ahead and started interrogating the prisoner.
Oh,
Viscount
right.
Kleiman's man.
That's right.
He said he'd like for you and I to be present as well.
Keep him from, crushing his face. Oh, he only has face-crushing powers when he's, going mad,
Will you come
I
with
suppose. Of course.
I cannot overlook your reckless remarks. Are you really so keen to lose your head?
I only
did he
did what I
say?
believed was right. I swear to the goddess that I'm not lying.
I mean, I don't think we can just take your word for it. Do you have any proof of whatever it was that I forget you were saying?
Amidst the turmoil of the tragedy, Lady Patricia was supposed to be the only one who was unharmed.
Right, Lady Patricia was his adoptive, or well, his stepmother.
We had been given orders ahead of time to not approach her carriage.
Was Patricia an accomplice?
Of course not. What would my stepmother have had to gain from such a...
Perhaps Lady Patricia would have done anything to return to the Empire,
I mean,
to her husband and daughter.
once again, is there a shred of evidence, though?
What exactly are you implying?
For the past few months, I've been spying on lords who defected to the Empire in order to investigate rumors about Lady Patricia.
We don't actually know if she's even alive, do we?
Cornelia's words were true. The two of them. I am afraid they conspired together after all.
Well, even then, I strongly doubt that, she knew what Cornelia was going to do.
Enough of this nonsense. You say she wished to return home? That isn't nearly enough reason to cause such a tragedy.
Yeah.
I do not intend to imply that the two of them were solely responsible for the whole affair.
Her wish to return home might have been used as a justification for it.
They were likely nobles who opposed the king, or potentially someone who wanted to throw the kingdom into chaos.
But I strongly doubt Patricia was even aware of what was going to happen, let alone ordered it.
The Empire and people
Or
like
asked for
Solon
it.
and Kranya had their motives too.
Right.
So my stepmother joined with them to cause the tragedy. Is that what you believe?
I'm not so sure I do.
Ultimately, this is just conjecture based on the evidence at hand. I have no idea what their true intentions were.
I see. We will hear what this man has to say. For now.
I mean, certainly. His testimony isn't worthless. I just don't think it's enough to, well, make a judgment off of. Not without corroborating evidence. Beyond that, that crazed Lady, Cornelia.
My lord had long felt that King Lambert's radical ways were dangerous. At the time, he was approached with an offer to take part in the incident at Dusker. My lord loves his homeland. To me, he embodied justice. We were only doing what we thought was right.
I'm sure.
And so, in the name of justice, he caused massacre upon massacre out of love for his homeland.
It sounds like that's what he's saying at the very least.
Murdered your own king, killed our soldiers, and involved innocent citizens. And yet you have the gall to speak of justice.
Kind of with Dimitri on that one.
I am only standing before you now, because I could no longer bear the weight of my sins.
And do you have do we have a reason to believe you? Did you share those feelings about your homeland?
Yes, I believe I do.
Gilbert, lock this man in his cell.
Yeah, I mean, he is basically confessing. Even if,
Are you not going to kill him?
Hey, don't try to go back on his, character progress there, Gilbert.
I will make that decision once I have had time to consider this man's definition of justice.
Maybe I missed it, but I didn't. Okay, they thought King Lambert was radical in some regard. Maybe they've mentioned before what his actions that he was taking that they considered radical. Was it perhaps getting a little too close to the people of Dusker? I can't quite remember. Regardless, I doubt it justifies what they did.
Yes, Your Highness.
Hey, Dimitri, how you doing? I just still don't... I somehow doubt... it may have been used... Patricia may have been used, or, may have even requested to go home. I forget why she had to leave in the first place, actually. But, I just have no reason to believe that she was in any way other than maybe tangentially involved in the tragedy. Are you okay?
No, I cannot say that I am. Tell me, Professor, how well do you remember your father, Gerald?
I mean, it hasn't been that long. But I'll go very well.
Soon enough, you will come to understand how painful it is to forget the faces of those who have passed on. To be honest, I cannot really remember my stepmother's... that woman's smile, nor the sound of her voice.
Oof. So you're unsure of whether what you remember of her is real or not?
I always told myself that I would not allow my mind to forget, and yet... all I can recall with clarity is her gazing away, so forlorn. Did my stepmother wish to go home so badly that she would kill Father and me? Kill her false family?
I mean, even though I don't believe it, I can't say for sure that she wouldn't.
Home. To her own blood. Her true family.
Maybe. But family isn't just blood, Dimitri. I don't have those answers. There's no way to know for sure.
I suppose it doesn't make any difference now.
True.
I'm asking you questions you could not possibly know the answer to.
As far as I'm aware, Patricia's long dead.
I am finished with thoughts like that. I am finally able to go on living without clinging to hate.
Yay!
If I truly treasure those who have died, then I must earnestly atone for my sins.
Very, very happy to hear you say that, Dimitri.
Father, Glenn, all of the soldiers who have fallen, the people of Dusker who still suffer persecution.
They're relying on you.
The only atonement I can offer them now is to take responsibility for this broken kingdom that has been entrusted to me.
And make it better. Fix it, if you will. That's true.
That is why I feel that I must meet with Edelgard and try to talk to her.
Please. Oh, dear, please.
Do you think it is a fool's errand?
No.
Honestly, I think so too.
I don't.
But I must
I so
swallow my
earnestly wish it.
feelings and grudges, our whole history really, and ask her about this future that she sees. What she aims for once her domination is complete. What kind of justice she clings to as she fights.
Yes.
And why she felt it necessary to start this war.
Please. Oh. Oh, that would be amazing. I don't for a second believe it'll come to pass. But, oh, how I desire it.
I believe that asking her these things is the true responsibility I have been tasked with as king.
I agree. And at the very least, just trying is something. How will you accomplish? Well, we will have to fight our way to her, but,
We will march our troops to the Imperial capital. But before any battle begins, we will set up camp nearby and send a messenger. I will tell her that I need to speak with her in a safe place, without any weapons or troops.
I do hope she takes up that offer.
As to whether or not she will agree to my request, well, that rests solely on Edelgard.
True. I'm certain, well, I'm not so certain she'll agree, but I hope it.
I would like to believe that as well. You know, Professor, when we fought in Ferdiad, Cornelia mocked me and called me pitiful.
Yeah, but she's also kind of a bitch.
But even if it is true that my stepmother
And
never
kind of
loved me,
evil.
I am not to be pitied.
I don't know. I mean, I wasn't there. I can't say. But I can trust your memories at the very least. Well, you did say you actually really don't remember, I suppose.
After all, I have allies and dear friends who care for me.
Yeah.
And now, I also have you by my side.
And I'll stay by your side. Yeah, I guess in the end, that answer will never come, and there isn't really any point in pondering over it. What good will it do you now, after all? Okay. Obviously no more, Conquer Enbar. No more, paralogs, which is good. And we won't bother with any more battles then. This month, though, we do need to finish up our supports, I believe. Which I suppose we will do at the end of the month. And we also probably have to select who we're gonna give the ring to. Decisions. And we'll save all these supports for, the end of the month when we do them all in one big batch. For now, let's explore.
I'm thinking...
Hey there, Shamir. What are you two talking about?
It's very likely that Lady Rhea is confined in the Imperial Palace.
True. And I think that's going to be the sticking point, really. I mean, there is no future in which Edelgard accepts the Church of Seiros to remain as it is. And that'll be a sticking point for, the kingdom and, Seteth and all of us.
If so, then our strategy will be to gain control of the streets and then assault the castle. A street battle followed by a castle invasion. It's just one battle after another. It'll be tough, but we have to win. For Lady Rhea.
We'll save her. And I guess she might not actually die in this one, since, we don't have to invade, I always forget the name of the city, but invade the Agarthians.
10 years ago, Dagda and Bridget attacked the Empire from the west. Their final target was the capital.
And they never made it.
But they were countered at a port town long before they reached their destination.
It's not easy to launch an invasion to mount an invasion from sea and from that distance.
We spent a lot of time going back and forth, but at least we made it this far.
Should I continue training? No, I shouldn't bother. Not anymore. A Master Seal. And it's an Ultimate Sword Tournament. What do you say, Felix? You game? Jeez. That's scary.
It was meant to be.
I feel bad for these opponents. At least you don't die immune. You can get a hit in.
You haven't earned my...
Don't bother healing yet. A shame Life Taker doesn't work.
You haven't earned my...
Guess it's because he's not actually killing them. Yep.
You fought well.
Yeah, they're making a valiant effort. It's worth it to heal. You won't kill him in one blow, and he's very likely to get a shot in.
Alright, next.
Wonderful. One down. Hello there, Abyss Keeper.
Hey you, listen up. I've got something to report.
Of course, of course.
The war is careening headfirst toward its grand finale. Do me a favor and get through this mess alive, okay?
Of course. I couldn't leave you and Gatekeeper just with no one to talk to.
After the dust settles, maybe I'll go on to guard other entrances in other parts of the world. I'm a dreamer, my friend. Always have been.
I know how much you love company, and I know someone who's, perhaps could use some. I mean, what would that ship even be called? Abyss Keeper, ex-Gatekeeper. Let's see. Who's down here? Ah, Constance.
Freaking. Is it true what they say? That the Archbishop is a captain of the Empire?
I mean, it was always either gonna be that or she was dead.
I've never heard of anything so brash in all the Empire's long history.
I mean, if she was on the run, she probably would have made contact with the Knights long before now.
It is vexing that Lady Edelgard's true motives elude me. If only I still had noble connections to draw on.
Well, you might learn them in this route.
The loss of my house has proven to be a thorn in my side again and again.
Well, hey, after this is all over, tell you what, we'll go and restore your house.
Wow.
Hello, resident.
We're getting along a lot better with the Kingdom soldiers recently. Everyone's in higher spirits.
Oh yeah?
When I
Because
first
the
got
war
here,
is nearing its
some
end?
of them were aggressive toward us, even abusive.
Yeah.
All that's changed now. They've been courteous with us.
Well, that's good.
Generous even. That's nice to see.
Good to see them, accepting you guys. Not, abusing you. Happy! How are you doing? What topic?
The war might be over soon. All this time we've been fighting, and the end comes in the blink of an eye. I have no idea what I'll do
really
afterwards, though. I guess I'll cross that bridge when I come to it.
I know what you mean. More so than you might think, Happy. This has been such a long journey through all these routes. It's okay to take your time.
I will. Though you already seem to know what you're going to do. Which is what, exactly?
Well, finish that game I left in the middle of.
Actually,
come meet all
don't
of you.
tell me your plans just yet. Let's revisit this topic when the war has drawn to a close.
Yeah. I just wish I could share another ending with you, Happy, but no. It's time to pick someone different. You should pick someone different in every route. How you doing, Ash? So, looking at something? Just observing the monastery. Has that tower always been shared off like that? I don't know.
Returning to the monastery brings back so many memories from 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Hard to believe we only spent a year together here.
Well, I suppose for me it's been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I guess this is our 7th year together.
So much happened that it felt a lot
In-game, at
longer
least.
than that. But it was all so exciting and so much fun.
I mean, in real time, it's been at least a year, if not 2.
Honestly, I think those memories are what's kept me fighting this long. What was that year like for you, Professor?
It was wonderful. It was a lot of fun. Getting to know all of you.
I don't think I could ask for a better answer. Let's all do our best to survive this, so we can come back here.
Yeah, this is the last well, this month is the last exploration
I know
I'm gonna be
that's what I'll
doing in this game, I assume. So weird. So surreal. Oh, someone else is in the room. Dorothea.
I keep thinking the war is near its end, then it isn't. When can we finally put this dreadful war behind us?
Well, after we conquer Enbar, or ideally come to a peaceful resolution, but realistically after we conquer Enbar. Let's end it with the next battle.
That would be wonderful. Imagine the last moment of combat, then peace. It sounds like a fairy tale.
Yeah.
I want to make this a world where there is no fighting, where children can grow up happy and safe.
Well, luckily, that actually happens in all the routes. Every route gets their own semi-happy ending, though with plenty of tragedies along the way. I am happy with how much of a survivor Claude is. Able to survive in every route.
Professor,
Oh?
my mother might be in the city.
In Enbar? Or here, you mean?
I don't have many good memories of her, if I'm being honest, but she's dearer to me than my father.
Not hard to achieve. Being, dearer to you than your father, I imagine.
If you happen to see her, please make sure she's not caught up in all the fighting.
Aw.
She's only a civil servant, so hopefully she takes a cue from her Bernie and stays inside.
I love the way she says that. Takes a cue from her Bernie. Oh, Bernie. Bernadetta. You are so wonderful. What do we have? A boy.
Let me see. I wonder what the Emperor looks like. I bet she's really scary.
Well, in full battle dress, she perhaps a little intimidating, but she's a lovely lady. And I think you would, if you got to know her, you'd really like her.
Oh, you don't think so? I've never seen her, so I was just guessing. She tried to destroy the kingdom and the alliance, and order the capture of the archbishop, right?
I suppose she tried to conquer them. I feel like that's a little different than destroying them. That makes me think she was, salting the earth and massacring the civilians.
I don't know. Someone who could do such terrible things just has to be really scary looking.
Nah. Hello, kitties. Greenhouse keeper. One last item there. I don't think I'm gonna bother planting anything else. We'll sell them for our remaining seeds for renown or something. Someone is in the dormitory, though. I'm not sure whose room that is. Obviously one of the nobles, but... Ah, and not just one of the nobles, the noblest of the nobles.
Professor, at last, the end is nigh.
Yes, it is. Though, when you say it like that, it sounds like the world is ending.
I love the Empire. Part of me wants it to survive. But I know that is not reasonable. The Empire's time has come.
Yeah. One way or another, it's ending. Whether Edelgard lives to see it or not, that is the question at hand.
The kingdom is battle-scarred, the alliance is in tatters. People must be terrified. The world is crumbling around them.
Yeah. I imagine what to them must feel, even though it's really not, it's kind of more of a civil war even, but what must feel like a world war. Just must feel like the world is crumbling, yeah. Yeah, since Fodlan is, that's not, I mean, it's split, but originally it was one nation, so.
What we need now is a mighty leader who can rebuild Fodlan and rule it as a single nation.
Yeah.
Nonetheless,
put together those pieces that fractured over the years.
Adrestian Emperor.
Yep, but we will have a kingdom. The United Kingdom of Fodlan.
Okay.
Hey, Raphael. Fishing?
We're heading up to Embar next. I hope I make it back safe so I can tell my little sis about it.
I'll make sure you get back safe. Don't worry, Raphael. I wouldn't want to leave your sister, you know, orphaned of her only remaining family.
I hear they got a neat opera house there, where Manuela used to perform. What was it called again?
I'm not sure. Oh, the, shoot, the Something Frank Opera Company. Middle Frank, that's it. Mitra Flank. Or Mildew Plank. No, the Middle Frank.
Ah, that's the one. My little sis always goes on about how much she'd like to see him perform.
Aw, well, after this is all over, you should go take her. You all have earned a vacation.
We can't see a show, but do you think we could at least see the building?
We can, though I won't have Manuela or Dorothea with me.
Professor.
Gatekeeper, the last time I get to talk to you ever. It's a sad thought.
Greetings, Professor. Nothing to report.
Of course.
Momentum's really picking up for this final battle, huh? Even I'm starting to feel tense. Me!
I know, and if you're tense, then we all should be tense.
Enbar's history goes back 1,400 years. That even predates the founding of the Empire.
Yeah, that's right.
It's one of the sacred sites of the Seros faith, so it's a pretty big deal.
Understandable why.
But hey, no need to worry about the monastery while you're fighting the final battle. I've got it covered. I'll defend it to my last.
We're counting on you. If they launch a surprise counteroffensive against the monastery while we're out there, it's all up to you, Gatekeeper. I know you've got it. You have us covered.
Interesting. Seems like the war is gonna end soon.
Yep.
Once the dust settles, it'll be back to rolling in fat stacks of gold for me.
All right, Scrooge McDuck.
Right.
Merchant?
While on some business, I went to see how the kingdom capital is getting on. There are still some things to work out before it can be restored.
I mean, it hasn't been that long, so it makes sense.
But generally, things seem to have calmed down.
It's on its way to resuming its old energy.
Good.
I think this will end up being a better kingdom than before. I really believe that.
You know, I think so too. I do. Dimitri will be a fine ruler. Hello there, soldier. How are you doing? Or mage?
I used to work for Cornelia in Ferdiad.
How was that?
I only followed her because I didn't want to die. But afterwards I felt so ashamed I wanted to die anyway.
Well.
I still can't figure out why I did it. Anyway, I'm glad you did what you did.
Psychology. There've actually been studies done on that.
From now on, I'm going to devote myself to the kingdom and fight for what I believe in.
Not easy to put yourself out there like that. Hey, Balthus.
That damn Dimitri guy plans to chat with the Emperor. Can you believe that nonsense?
I support it fully, Balthus.
Really, though? We've been trying to kill each other, and he wants to shoot the breeze? Is he dumb or just insane?
You're wrong.
That a fact? You two are birds of a feather. You ask me, they should throw some fists and be done with it.
I mean, if a little fisticuffs is all it takes, then absolutely. But...
guess it's up to the one true king of grappling to talk some sense into old Dimitri. When I'm done with him, he'll be ready to brawl.
I mean, you may be the better brawler, but Dimitri's got inhuman strength. Someone else in here. At the end of the room. Not just a citizen.
Professor, once you set out on your next mission, you won't be able to have a proper meal for a while, right?
Right.
You should eat up while you can. Build up your physical strength to prepare for the mission.
I will stuff my face then and enjoy it. Annette, Mercy, how are you two?
We'll be heading for the capital soon. So much rests on this moment. Will the war really be over if we take the capital?
It should be. Maybe a few holdouts, but for the most part. Definitely.
Yay! I'm sure it won't end right away, but that's still great news.
Yeah.
I truly believe that a peaceful future is waiting at the end of all of this.
I do too, Mercy, I really do. How about you, Annette? What do you think?
I hope this is the final battle. Don't you, Professor?
I do.
When the war is over, everyone will be busy with their own lives. But let's all meet up again someday. Right here at Garreg Mach.
Yeah. And if we're lucky, Claude will be there. And while it might be awkward, if we're very lucky, Edelgard will be too.
You, His Highness, my father, our monastery friends, the knights, everyone.
Yeah. It's a great idea.
It was just a silly whim I had, but I really love it.
I love it too, Annette. I love your silly whims. They're just so sweet.
Oh, and I'll bake a bunch of desserts for it. Reunion sweets.
You're getting me excited for this reunion I'll never get to experience.
All we have to do now is win. Let's get to it, Professor.
We will. I'll carry you all through this, one way or another. And you'll help me as well. Oh, Lysithea.
Wanting so desperately to speak with Edelgard, just as we're about to fight.
Yeah.
Could it be that the prince is having doubts about killing her?
I certainly hope so. It's only for... I don't think so.
Then perhaps it is okay. He's certainly changed from the vengeful person he once was.
Yeah, and for the better.
I don't mean that in a bad way. I'm actually relieved.
Yeah.
A king who's responsible for Fodlan's future can't exact personal vendettas and have a cold heart.
Yeah, that would be, he would have been he had the makings of a tyrant when he had that, when he was going through his mad phase. through his madness. Caspar.
Right.
Such a relief that you didn't have to face your father on the field of battle.
It's such a relief that we've made it this far without having to fight my father.
Yeah. We never actually see him in this game. You only ever hear about him and how scary he is. It sounds like you're scared.
You bet I'm scared. The Imperial Army hasn't lost a single battle with my father on the field.
Ah.
But still, I wonder what'll happen to him if we win.
Well, depends on what he does. He very well may just continue in a similar position, or as leader of his house if he surrenders, along with the Empire if he keeps holding out. He may end up in a worse position. Felix.
He intends to speak to the Emperor? She's his stepsister, I know, but this seems risky.
Aren't you happy to see he's not all bloodthirsty anymore, Felix? It's important. You're against it?
No, I'm not. I'm sure he's thought it through.
Good.
If the two can settle this diplomatically, that would be the best way out of this mess. No more bloodshed.
Yeah, that's what I would have thought. I would have been surprised if you wanted the battle.
Let's just hope he doesn't become so overwhelmed with emotion that he's unable to strike her down, should the need arise.
Please become so overwhelmed with emotion that you're unable to strike her down, Dimitri.
If the two, let's just...
I might as well get up to S rank. Why not? And swords. And S words.
Professor.
Say now.
Hello, you two.
Attacking the capital means crossing swords with the Emperor herself.
Well, she doesn't use a sword, but I catch your meaning.
I hope you won't be caught unprepared. I've heard that she'll stop at nothing in the pursuit of victory.
Yeah, just about.
Be careful of that Hubert, too. The minister of the Imperial household. They say he's a cunning strategist.
He's a wily one, and his scheming makes Claude look pretty good, we'll just say.
I've got a bit of Dusker blood in me.
Oh.
Vargas is our ancestral enemy.
Right.
But if that man is going to be the king, I don't see any harm in lending him my blade.
Good.
I believe that we can forge a proud new kingdom.
I do too.
As you can tell, I'm expecting great things. I won't forgive you if you lose.
Well, if we lose, we'll probably be dead, but... Oh, is that Ignatz? Yeah. And a monk.
Hello there.
We're about to put the finishing touches on this war. I wonder how Fodlan will look without the backdrop of death and destruction. I can't wait to see it.
You and me both, Ignatz. I want to see what kind of world Dimitri builds.
On the other hand, I'm terrified of what the future might hold. Who knows if I'll survive the assault on the capital?
Yeah. Well, actually no. You have no chance of dying. Don't worry. The Canal of Enbar.
Did you know? A magnificent canal flows through downtown Enbar.
I vaguely recall that.
It's said to have been constructed under the guidance of Saint Seros before the Empire was even formed.
That one is actually true.
Ever since, that canal has been a major lifeline for the capital's development.
Actually, I don't know specifically about the canal, but I mean, it's very likely considering she was there.
And now this is how the Empire repays it. Truly, no good deed goes unpunished.
I mean, just because the Lady Araya was good back then, well, even though, I mean, she was actually grief-stricken back then and out for blood, but still, doesn't mean that her current ways of doing things are good. Fargus, I kind of agree with Edelgard that Fargus is in kind of a stagnation with the Church of Seros. And I'm not so sure is good for it.
Professor?
I've been thinking about how we've got our own ideas about justice. And so does the Empire.
Yeah.
And what's coming? It's not just a battle between us and them. It's our ideals that are fighting.
Actually, on second thought, I don't know if there's really any evidence for that from what we've seen or not. I mean, we've seen her take questionable acts for sure. But, she's certainly trying to manipulate the way the future unfolds for Fodlan, but
whoever
it's not
wins
quite
will
the
say
same
they
thing,
were right, and the other side was wrong. And I get it. That's how it goes.
Yeah. The winner of history is written by the victor and all.
But nobody's willing to talk or compromise, so we'll fight to the death to prove the other guy's wrong. It won't be an easy battle, but let's make sure we come back alive. Right, Professor?
Damn straight.
Thank you.
Hey, Ingrid. One last day. One last month in this classroom, huh?
I'm so glad you were assigned to the Blue Lion House, Professor.
Me too. It was a nice way to finish things up.
We made it this far, thanks to your guidance and leadership.
I think I've said before, but I am glad I saved this one for last, I think. This feels like a good capstone to everything. A lot of things that were unanswered, that were mysteries before, just getting their answers.
There's a bitter fight ahead, that much is certain. You have my lance.
And also the fact that I've said before, feels almost like the main route, just with how much more fleshed out it is than the others. But thank you, Ingrid. I accept your lance, and you have my sword and my bow. We're counting on you.
Yes, let's do this together.
Hilda! Hey! Yeah, woo!
Fighting in the capital? Ugh. And we're fighting against Edelgard. Double ugh.
You know, I agree with the ugh, but probably for a different reason.
But with you leading us, Professor, I know we'll win.
Well, I certainly can't disagree with that. If we didn't, that would mean I just sort of gave up on the game in the last stretch.
Yeah! Woohoo! Fighting!
Hilda! Or clearly you're not Hilda, you're an Agarthian in disguise. Because, well, I've never heard you excited for fighting. You do realize you'll be on the front lines, right?
I'm a little scared, to be honest. I'm just shouting to relieve the tension, but I'll be fine.
Fair enough. Let's all get our happy endings. Hopefully. Catherine, come over here. I have something to tell you.
Looks like we're nearing the end of this struggle.
Or to talk to you about, I guess. Yes, we are.
I'm sure Lady Rhea is on tenterhooks waiting for me to swoop in and rescue her.
I mean, I think she doesn't really care who it is. Probably.
I was just kidding. Pay me no mind. Lady Rhea's not waiting for me, I know, no matter how much I might wish she were. She's waiting for you.
Perhaps. Though once again, I don't think she'd be too picky. Nice.
Hey.
Hello, merchant.
Sorry, but I'm not the fighting type. All I can do is lend you the stuff you need.
Really? I'll take anything you got.
And, you know, pray to the goddess for your safety. Win, live, and return, okay? Mostly so you can pay me back for the stuff you borrowed.
You actually didn't give me anything. No? Well, I'm not paying you back for nothing. I assume lending the army stuff, but still. Sometimes I make really, really big mistakes. I'm pretty sure that's Annette in that profile picture. But I can't afford to make mistakes on the battlefield, you know? Yeah, with that, the you know tells me Annette. Isn't there a way for me to fix that? Just stay calm and be aware of your surroundings. You're a mistake maker accepted as one of your quirks. Tackle everything with prudence. No? Oh. I thought you would elect that. I'm guessing the top option then.
That reminds me.
Please.
Gilbert. To do. How are you? Start with to do.
I believe in you, but please ensure that His Highness survives as well.
You know, it's gonna be weird not having you do your own thing on the final map.
Fodlan's future would be in peril if we lost him. I would not be able to go on.
Yeah, I'm aware. You would do whatever you could to fulfill his, his dream, his duty. And then, who knows what afterwards. Leave it to me.
Thank you.
I will count on you to continue shielding His Highness, though.
It matters not how just our cause may be. In the end, war is nothing more than organized murder.
That's certainly one way of looking at it.
I understand the desire to reach a conclusion, but we mustn't overlook the sins inherent in our deeds.
I mean, this is a defensive war on our part, on the other hand. I understand, of course.
Sorry. I have a tendency to preach. We have lost so much, and in return, we have taken much from our enemies.
That we have, on both counts.
I pray we can put an end to this cycle of violence.
I do too.
I have a request.
More resources. Do I have this?
So we have lost.
No. Yuri, you okay? This is a rare sight.
How would you know what's rare and what isn't? I still believe in the goddess. Sort of.
Oh, I love that sort of at the end. And I don't know if it's a rare for you, but for me it is a rare sight.
I couldn't recount a single word of scripture for you, but my mother always prayed. I picked up the habit from her.
That's nice.
Believe it or not, I'm praying for you too. For you to come back safe.
Thank you, Yuri. Sweet of you. Let's take one last look in here. The statues of the saints. There we have Sethleen, aka Flane. And then her daddy Keyhole, Seteth. Makuil, who's kind of a dick. And of course Indek, who, I didn't actually do... Despite having Leone in this route, I didn't actually get that paralogue. Must have not met a certain requirement for it. Maybe it's Golden Dare only. Perhaps.
Professor, please.
Oh, I'm missing someone. Dimitri, how did I not see you? You stick out like a sore thumb.
Our next battlefield will be the Imperial capital.
Yep.
There will be no turning back.
I am aware.
If you have any unfinished business here, you had best settle it before we depart.
That's not enough time. Leave it to me.
I knew I could count on you. Good luck.
Thank you, Dimitri. And I pray for your success in talking down Edelgard. Manuela?
Life can be tough, but if you've got your friends to help you through, it can be a lot easier.
Yeah. Friends, family. It's just someone to lean on in general, really. Doesn't matter what specific relationship.
Maybe you butt heads sometimes, but that's okay. That's how you build bonds, right?
Yeah.
And I've got friends.
As long as it doesn't
Professor,
escalate too
plenty
much.
Of those. It's true love that seems to have passed me by.
Well, don't count yourself out yet. You still have a chance in this final route. You should relax. There's still hope.
Where is my true love to be found? Where is my ray of hope?
That I can't answer for you. But my thinking is right down that hallway. He's got a long name. Starts with an H. A nice spruce mustache.
At this point, I'm just hoping you stay single too.
Oof.
Then at least we can share each other's misery.
Hey, now. That's mean. Yeah, there's no chance I would be able to get it up to S+ by the end of this, and I wouldn't even know what to replace with it anyways. It's not if I could get 9 flyings per week, then maybe, but I can't. Don't worry, I will take care of Lady Rhea. Flame. What's regrettable?
I was born in Enbar.
Oh, yeah.
My mother and father met in a church there. Not too long after, I was brought into the world.
Aww. What year was that, I wonder? I vaguely recall that you were injured in the war, but I can't recall if that was in the, the war against Nemesis or not.
I do not understand how war can happen in such a precious place. It is most regrettable.
I would imagine it was. But yes, it is regrettable. I just can't recall anymore. It's been too long. I think when I learned that it was in the Golden Dare route. Hanneman.
Enbar's streets are paved with unhappy memories, Professor.
Yeah?
I've avoided the damned place ever since I abandoned my nobility. Swore never to return.
You can stay here. We don't quite need you on our team, on our advanced team.
Now here we are. To return in this manner. Well, I can't say it is something I ever imagined.
I would think when the war started, you had to have imagined it.
Especially as I'm returning to end the Empire. What a strange feeling, breaking one's history.
I could only imagine how that must feel. Let's see, are they in here? Ah, yes, Leonie. Revenge for Gerald, huh? Now, keep in mind, Edelgard isn't responsible for that. She has no blame to bear for Gerald's death.
At last, it's time to face the Flame Emperor, Edelgard.
Yes.
I know that the future of all Fodlan rests on this battle. Nothing else is more important.
True.
But for me, this is personal. For Captain Gerald's sake, I'm going to give it all I've got and more.
Keep that fire in you. Just remember, Edelgard is not to blame for that. That was all on Kronia, and it's not like she consulted Edelgard. Hell, she didn't even consult Solon, I don't think. Yeah, Luis, you have been a true pillar for me to lean on in all these routes. True loyalty, and I love it.
Here we are, facing the final battle with
Well,
the
loyalty
Empire.
to Byleth, at least.
It's been a
to
long,
Gerald.
difficult struggle. We have to get Lady Rhea back, and we have to crush the Empire in the name of Captain Gerald.
God, I love Alois. I never expected to like him as much as I do.
He's watching over us now, protecting us. I know he is.
Oh, Gerald, wherever you are. Well, in the dirt about that away. Marianne? Are you doing okay?
Dear Goddess.
What are you praying for?
For your safety.
Aw. I love Marianne.
I'll do all I can to survive. But please, please don't die out there, Professor.
Of course. God, that's another one I really would love. I kind of would love to see Marianne's shared ending with Byleth. But, very curious. But I think I'm gonna pair her with Dimitri if I can. I just want her to be happy, and I feel like Dimitri can understand her better than most. Seteth.
Rhea will be somewhere in the city. I wonder if she can sense us coming.
I don't think she has anything like that, but...
The battle will soon be upon us. Let us both be at our best for what is to come.
Quite. She's counting on us. Though, if it meant sparing Edelgard, would I sacrifice Lady Rhea? I can't say I wouldn't.
Whenever I think about how we'll be seeing Lady Rhea,
I prefer it not to come to that, though.
I get happy and really get cleaning. We'll get there for sure, right? We'll see her again?
We will, Cyril, we will. We'll meet her for sure.
I just gotta believe Lady Rhea is waiting for us in the capital. We just have to find her.
And with that, I think that's everybody.
I have a question.
Of course there, Felix. I've had this sword for a long time. It is as much a part of me as the hand that holds it. But a good swordsmith could craft a weapon that's more effective and durable. Should I stick with my old familiar sword, or acquire a better one? Get the new one, give yourself time to train with it.
I see.
Professor.
Yes, to do. I must be able to guard His Highness at all times, even when I am unarmed. Please, train me in hand-to-hand brawling. Yes, of course. I've been doing that anyways.
Thank you.
With the end so close, there's not much I actually want to do this month other than finish up the supports.
We will handle this together.
Whenever we are this close to the end, I cease caring about their stats. Like, well, yeah, they're high enough that we can handle anything.
I appreciate your help.
Perseverance
Nice.
is the... I'm almost
Nice.
tired of learning.
We're gonna do resting for the first time ever, I think. Resting will increase your allies' motivation. The Sublime Creator Sword will automatically be repaired. Curious how much that actually restores them. 50%, apparently.
Professor.
Felix again. I've never been interested in magic, but I do recognize that a swordsman who understands it has an advantage over one who doesn't. Help me hone my skills and reason, in addition to the sword. Of course. You are a mortal savant, after all.
Thanks.
Good job, you two.
Now to keep polishing my...
Oh, yes, Ward Arrow. I imagine that, lowers their resistance. Alright, Leone. It'd be really useful if I could fire a bow more accurately from horseback. That is a very useful skill. Think we could work on my riding along with my bow skills, whatever you want.
Thanks.
Alright. After this, it's off to get all the supports. That may take some... That very well might take so much time. It'll take actually
I will
2
report
sessions.
the result.
I'm not sure yet. Not sure how many exactly we have left. especially with the secondary characters.
Works.
Yes, nice.
I'm a quick study.
I think I've got the idea.
This'll be useful.
It seems my
Okay, nice.
proficiency has improved.
Seems my practice.
There is room to enrich.
A lot of them in the end. Jeez. That was the last one, too. Last one ever. All right. Off to support.